Hey, it's Jill Underwood here, your mortgage queen. So the big news over a week now has been the LLPAs, the loan level price adjustments, which are basically hits to the interest rate on conventional loans. We're only going to talk about conventional loans. These are loans that are backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which are our government entities. They're called GSEs, and they are overseen by the FHFA. And the director of the FHFA, Director Thompson, Sandra Thompson, I believe is her name. The director of the FHFA is always appointed by the president. So the big news story last week that all the big news channels came out with was the new Biden rule. Let's just break it down, because here's the deal. Headline news is amazing for headline news. And what they do is they get people riled up. They did a great job on this one. Here's the deal. So these LLPAs have been around for a long time, many, many years. And basically they were created, initially they were created for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to make more money, because back in the Great Recession, as it's called, back then they needed more money. And so that's when they were originally founded. The news story that came out last week, circa April 20th, so a week ago today, basically made it sound like this is a new Biden rule and it's about to take effect May 1st. Okay, here's the scoop. We've known about this. The first memo that we got came out on, let me find it. Can you see it? February 2nd. We're going to show you, I'm going to do a screenshot in a second. February 2nd, we got the memo on this. And then they came out and revised them on March 22nd. So maybe that's what instilled the media to get a hold of this. I don't know. But, you know, the news sensationalized it and really riled everybody up. Here's some of my favorite headlines. Here are my headlines, right? Biden raises costs for home buyers with good credit to help risky borrowers. Ooh. Here's another one. Joe Biden wants you to pay a fee to give loans to people with bad credit. Now that'll rile up the masses, won't it? But my favorite, my very favorite right here, new mortgage rules punish borrowers with good credit, reward those with bad credit. And you know what? Now that I look at this, there's a typo in the headline. See, all right, come on, news people. Here we go. So I'm going to share my screen with you for a quick little second here. So, because I want you to see these. Share. Okay, so here we go. So here is our screen. I can scroll just a teeny bit because I want you to see down here at the bottom. This is what came out February 1st. And I got to tell you, when this came out February 1st, it basically like came at our industry out of left field. Everybody was like, what the heck, right? And basically what they did is they said, okay, for each of these different buckets of credit score versus what your loan to value is when you're buying a home, we're going to charge some extra fees. These are called the LLPAs, loan level price adjustments, right? And when this came out in February, I mean, my industry was like, whoa, where did this come from? So we had to build it into our pricing, right? And then what happened is we got a new memo. Scroll down. This is dated March 22nd. And this, again, they made more buckets of credit scores and changed what the LLPAs are. Some of them are higher and some of them are lower. Okay. So for example, what I think we need to do is we need to go to the first chart and then go to the second chart and see what the differences are, because this is what has everybody up in arms. But if you look at the charts, for example, if you've got a 740 credit score and 20% down, the old LLPA, so the first one, 740 credit score right here, and 20% down, so that's a loan to value of 80%. Right here. So you're going to get a 0.5% hit to the pricing on whatever interest rate you're going to be quoted. Well, when they changed it, Pow. Now we've got more buckets of credit score, 740, go across here, 80% loan to value. So now you're going to get a hit of 7/8 of 1%. So that was higher, right? Wow. Okay. Now here's what the media is all up in arms about. Let's go back to February 1st, and we're going to look at a credit score. I want to do a super low one. We're going to look at a credit score with 620. This is a good example. Here we go. A 620 credit score. So right here, and if somebody's putting 10% down, so then we're going to go over here to the loan to value of 90% and a 620 score. So you're going to get a hit to your pricing and your interest rate of 3.25%. That sounds pretty high, don't you think? Well, fast forward to March 22nd. Now in our new bucket, the 639 less than or equal to 639. So we're looking at a 620 score, and we're looking at 10% down. So now 90% loan to value. There we go. So less than 639, 90% loan to value, 2.625. So this is what the media is all about. Oh, wait a minute, the media says. Oh, it was going to be 3.25, but now it's 2 5/8. They should be happy about that for the lower credit score borrowers. But they're saying is we're going to take our high credit score borrowers and punish them and charge them more. And the lower credit score borrowers get a reprieve. That's what they're trying to say. Okay. But what I want to do now is we are going to go over here to this handy dandy little chart that I made. And we're just going to see what exactly do these interest rates look like. So as of today, March 27th, that's probably on here somewhere. Okay. All right. I'll add that in. Well, hey, this is made March 27th, April. We're in April 27th. So here's what we're going to look at, because this is the truth in the matter. This is the proof in the pudding right here. All right. So if you've got a credit score of 620 right there, and you're putting, I did all these examples with 10% down, right? We're just going to compare them just like that. 10% down and a 620, a 680, and a 780, right? So I went in and I looked at interest rates today. If you're going to go with a conventional loan with a 620 credit score and 10% down, today I would be charging you 7.5% plus 1 discount point. 1% of your loan amount is what 1 point means, right? If you got a 680, same down payment, higher credit score, your rate's going to be 7.5 with no points. So it's going to be cheaper because you have a higher credit score, right? Now let's go to the 780. 780, 10% down. So you got the best credit score. Way to go. Woohoo, right? All right. So your rate's going to be 6.875. So 6 7/8 with no points. So there it is right there, folks. The lower credit scores still have higher rates, even though everybody says that everything that came out, these new LLPAs, you're going to take away from the good credit score and the low risk people, and they're going to have to pay more for the lower credit score people. And it's simply not the case. The media has sensationalized it. And I just had to show you the numbers. I'm all legal here, everybody. I've got the MI quote, PMI, I got the APR, I've got all my NMLSs. So this is just a comparing based on these factors only. There's a lot of other factors that go in with your rate quote. That's why we can't just generically quote one rate. Now, I got to tell you, we're gonna backtrack here, because I've been in this business since the 1980s. Back in the 1980s, interest rates were just told to us, okay, today's interest rate is blank. We didn't have credit scores back then. You either qualified for the loan or you didn't, and everybody got the same rate. So now here we are in today's world where everybody wants to even the playing field. Everybody wants to help low-income buyers to get into the housing market. They want to have minority buyers, have a way to get in. So maybe that's a good thing to do, but this is not the way to do it. It's just really not. So as you can see, these lower credit score borrowers anyway, I'm going to put them on an FHA loan. they can get a much better rate without all of these hits if they go FHA. So if you're a 620 and 10% down, this is not the loan I'm going to put you with. I've got a better loan that you can go with, right? So now I'm going to go back because there's one little teeny tiny thing on this chart that irks me the most, and nobody's talking about it. And here it is. If you scroll all the way down on this page, page 2 of 9, right here at the very, very bottom, can you see that? It says, let me show you this, debt to income. If your debt versus your income is greater than 40%, meaning the new house payment and all of your debts is greater than 40% of your gross monthly income, look at what we're going to do. We're going to charge you an extra fee for that. If you put down 3% or 5% or 10% or even as high as 30% down, if your debt to income is over 40%, you're going to get charged an extra fee. Now, why isn't anybody talking about that? I will share this. My industry has been fighting all of this. And on the debt to income greater than 40% rule, we actually got that postponed. That is not going to go into effect. See the little number 7 there? That is actually not going to go into effect until August 1st. Loans delivered after August 1st. This absolutely annoys me to no end. And here's why. I'm going to stop my share. Here's why this annoys me so much, because I have 2 real life examples of where that is going to be a problem. My first example is, so I had some clients who are relocating from another state into Kansas City. They have a house to sell in their home state, and they put it on the market, and it sold very quickly. It's under contract. And they come to Kansas City, and they find their house, and they get under contract. Now, this gentleman has already started his new job here in Kansas City. So now, instead of waiting for the house to close and use their funds to buy the new house here, what they decided to do midway through our transaction is they said, you know what? I can liquidate some money and I can come up with my 30% down in cash. And then I'll sell that house later. Let's get into the new one. Then about 3 weeks later, the current house will sell and he can replace his money. He can just replace his investments. That's a great plan, right? Well, yes, if we don't have this crazy rule. What happened was I initially set his loan up where that house was going to be sold, and I don't have to count the payment because it's sold, right? And my debt to income was about 28%. So now, a couple of weeks into the transaction, they said, hey, can we close early? I'll liquidate my funds and we'll sell that house later, right? So now I have to count that house payment against him, which is fine. My debt to income was 41%. Guess what? Now I have to charge him a higher fee. And actually at that point, I really did have to charge him a higher fee, but then we took it out because they changed the rule. They pushed back the date of the rule, so I didn't have to charge him. But I got to tell you, do you want to be the person that middle way through your transaction, your loan officer calls you and says, oops, I'm sorry, I have to charge you a higher fee now? Nobody wants that. That is not good business practice. Here's my second example. Example number 2. I have a client, a single woman, and she was buying a home. She has a base salary plus bonus and commission. Base, bonus, commission, right? I can use all 3. We've got the track record. We meet the guidelines, the whole 9 yards. So underwriting came back and said, you know what, Jill, she qualifies just fine on just her base income. So I'm just going to use her base, and that way we don't have to worry about bonus and commission. Well, guess what that did? That raised her debt to income. I started out with something super low, like 25 or 26 debt to income, and now suddenly it's over 40. Really? So now I'm going to have to charge her something higher, an extra fee, because underwriting says, oh, let's just make it simple. So I had to go back and say, no. We can verify the bonus, the commission. We got this. It's all right there. We need to use it, because not only does it save in what that extra fee would be, but it also saves in the PMI, right? Your PMI is lower when you've got a higher credit score and a lower debt to income. It just does. So those are my examples of why that one little thing That should piss everybody off more than anything else, right? Okay, so I'm going to pull this all in together and just give you my final, the moral of my story. Part of the deal is that this was just implemented without letting anybody know. Somebody just said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to try to level the playing field. And that's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to level the playing field, and they're not taking something away from the good people and giving it to the bad people. That's not it at all. They're trying to make it to where it's not quite as spread apart, right? You're this far apart. Get my hands in there. This far apart and squeeze it down together. That's really what they're trying to do. This is maybe not the best way to go about it. That's what I think. I think that the danger here too is that the director of FHFA, appointed by our current President Biden. So yeah, I see why the media started with new Biden rule. Okay, fine. But the problem is that they didn't have the conversation. They didn't get feedback. They didn't have a meeting. They didn't talk to the leaders of the mortgage industry. They just did it. And as one of the economists said that I follow, he said, does this set the precedence that the FHFA can tinker with the policies without approval of the shareholders? Because Fannie Freddie really does have shareholders. While they are they are companies, they are in conservatorship, but they do still have shareholders. So I think that this is not the way to solve the housing initiatives that they really want by encouraging minority buyers to buy homes. I think they have the right idea, but very bad execution. My industry has been fighting this, and I'm pretty sure that they will continue to do so. I think that we need more than just one person making these policies. And I think that if you got a room full of the leaders in housing, the leaders in mortgage, and lay out the issues, have the discussions, and then find the best ways to solve the problems, it's a better way to do it. I just think it's a better way to do it. And my bottom line for you is home ownership. It's still the American dream. And I think it's still a key factor in having your place on earth. I still believe that home ownership is better than renting if you're ready to become a homeowner. It's not that everybody gets a home. You have to earn it. You do have to earn your way. You do have to save some money. You do have to have your finances in order. But if you want to buy a house, then let's talk. If you want to buy a house, do it now. Don't wait to time the market, and don't let any of this that's been sensationalized hold you back from buying a home. Statistics show this statistic. It's a great word. Statistics show that homeowners have a net worth 40 times higher than that of a renter. I'm going to say that again. Homeowners have a net worth 40 times higher than that of a renter. So don't let these headlines keep you from buying. There's an old saying, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is now. I think the same holds true for home ownership. The best time to buy a home was 10 or 20 years ago. And the second best time to buy a home is right here, right now. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Jill Underwood, your mortgage queen, and I'm here to help you. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and call me if you need me. Forward, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Take care.